Welcome, dear children, to the new topic. Today we are discussing escape speed. Escape speed means the minimum vertical velocity that has to be imparted to a body on the Earth's surface so that it escapes from the gravitational pull and never returns to Earth. It means that we already know when a body is thrown vertically upwards, it will go to certain height and it will come back. This is a common experience. Whatever object is thrown upwards, whether it is a stone or a ball or whatever be the object, after going to certain height, it will be coming back. Why it is coming back? It is coming back because of the gravitational pull of Earth. When an object goes away from the surface of Earth, the distance between Earth and the object is increasing. Because of this increase in the distance, the gravitational force between Earth and that particular object decreases. So, as an object goes away from the surface of Earth, the gravitational pull on that object is decreasing. Now we can assume a certain distance at which the gravitational pull due to Earth is becoming zero. Thereafter, if the object is able to go beyond that distance, surely that object will not come back to the surface of Earth. So that minimum velocity required for an object so that it can escape from the gravitational pull of Earth, that minimum velocity with which that object is to be thrown, that minimum velocity we call as the escape speed. So it is the vertical velocity, minimum vertical velocity that has to be imparted to a body on the Earth's surface so that it escapes from the Earth's gravitational pull and never returns to Earth. That particular minimum velocity we call it as escape speed. Now we will discuss how to derive an expression for escape speed. On the surface of Earth, the object is having a particular potential energy. And when we throw that object with particular velocity, that object will be having kinetic energy. So, the total energy of an object which is thrown from the surface of Earth, it means the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Let's discuss how to write the expression for total energy of an object which is thrown from the surface of Earth. For that, we consider an object which is kept at a height h from the surface of Earth. So, suppose this is Earth. From the center of Earth at a distance small letter r we say. So, from the surface of Earth it is at a height h. So, radius of Earth we take it as capital letter R. So, at a height h from the surface of Earth we have an object of mass m. And due to this position, that object will be having potential energy U is equal to minus G M E M by R plus H, where ME is the mass of Earth, small letter m stands for the mass of the object, and R plus H is the distance of the object from the surface of Earth. Now, if the object is projected vertically with a velocity v, its kinetic energy is half m v square. Now we assume that this particular object is projected with the minimum velocity which we call as the escape velocity, and we represent that escape velocity with the letter VE. So the kinetic energy of the object, it becomes K is equal to half m VE square. So this is the expression for kinetic energy. So we already wrote the expression for potential energy. Now this is the kinetic energy. So the total energy of the object which is projected from that height can be written as T is equal to K plus U, where K is the kinetic energy and U is the potential energy. So substituting for that, we have half m VE square minus GME m by R. So this is the expression for total energy of the object which is projected from the height h with the minimum velocity or the escape speed. When an object is projected with minimum velocity, when it reaches infinity, its velocity becomes zero. That's what we mean by that minimum velocity or the escape speed. When it reaches infinity, at infinite distance when it reaches, its speed becomes zero. So obviously its kinetic energy becomes zero. And we already discussed that the potential energy of the object at infinity is taken to be zero. In previous days discussion, we already discussed it. Potential energy is taken to be zero. So total energy of this particular body when it reaches infinity, that total energy at infinity we can write at infinity will be equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy we know. Since it is projected with the minimum speed, when it reaches infinity, its total energy, its kinetic energy is zero and its potential energy also is zero. Or in short, total energy of this particular object when it reaches infinity will be equal to zero. So this particular object was projected from the surface of earth with a particular velocity, minimum speed, that escape speed it was projected, but when it reaches the infinity, its total energy becomes zero. And we know we are discussing the movement of the object in the gravitational field, which is a conservative field. Since gravitational field is a conservative field, the total energy of the object should remain constant. Means the total energy of the object at the point of projection should be equal to total energy of the object when it reaches infinity. So total energy at the point of projection will be equal to total energy at infinity. So at infinity the total energy is zero. So we can equate the expression for total energy of the object at a height h to zero. So we will get one equation. So that is how we have this particular equation here, that is half mve square minus gmm by r plus h. Here m stands for the mass of earth and small letter m stands for mass of the object. So this is the expression. Now rearranging this particular equation, we will get the expression for escape speed. So we have half mve square equal to gmm by r plus h. So VE is equal to root 2 gm by r plus h. So this is the expression for escape speed from a height h. Now if we assume the object to be projected from the surface of earth, we know h will be equal to 0. In that case, the expression for escape speed becomes VE equal to root 2 gm by r because h is equal to 0. Now we know the expression for acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity, it is g is equal to gm by r square. So from this equation, we can substitute for gm as small letter g r square. So substituting that, we get the expression for escape velocity as ve equal to root 2 gr, where g is the acceleration due to gravity and its value is 9.8 meter per second square, and capital letter R stands for the radius of earth, which is 6,400 kilometers. So by substituting the values, we'll get the value of escape speed as 11.2 kilometer per second. So on the surface of earth, the escape speed is 11.2 km per second. It means that if a body is projected vertically with a speed 11.2 km per second, that body will never come back to the surface of earth. And if the speed is less than this, surely that object will come back to the surface of earth. So that minimum velocity required by a body to escape from the gravitational pull of earth, that is escape speed, and in the case of earth its value is 11.2 km per second. And we have to note a point, that is escape velocity does not depend on the mass of the body. whatever be the mass of the object, whether it is a 100-gram object or 100-kilogram object, escape velocity is the same. That is 11.2 kilometer per second. Now, based on the concept of escape velocity, we have an important observation, that is why moon has no atmosphere. This is an observed fact. That means when different people, when they landed moon, they have observed, that means they were carrying oxygen cylinders or the source of oxygen with them, because moon is not having any atmosphere. Why? What's the reason for it? The thing is this: the value of escape speed from the surface of moon, it is different from that on the surface of earth. On the surface of earth, we just discussed, it is 11.2 kilometer per second, but on the surface of moon, it is 2.3 kilometer per second. And the average velocities of the gas molecules like nitrogen, oxygen, helium, hydrogen, etc., which we have in Earth's atmosphere, all those average velocities, they are much larger than this 2.3 kilometer per second. That means those gas molecules, they easily escape from the gravitational field of moon. But they can't escape from the gravitational pull of Earth, because their average velocities, it is less than 11.2 kilometer per second. That is why Earth has an atmosphere while moon is not having an atmosphere. Now we discuss Earth satellite. You know, satellites are celestial bodies which revolve around planet, and there are natural satellites and artificial satellites. So in the case of Earth, we are discussing the case of the satellites. So satellites are the objects which revolve around Earth, and the only one natural satellite of Earth is moon, and its time period is 27.3 days approximately. We say 28 days also, but accurately it is 27.3 days. Examples of artificial satellites. We have a number of artificial satellites are Sputnik, Aryabhata, INSAT, etc. Aryabhata and INSAT, they are sent by India, we know. Artificial satellites are used in the fields like telecommunication, geophysics, meteorology, etc. And even in communication, you know, in communication, these satellites, they play a vital role. Now we move on to the expression for orbital velocity of a satellite. So what do you mean by orbital velocity of a satellite? The velocity of a satellite in its orbit is called orbital velocity. So what is meant by orbit? Orbit of a satellite. Orbit is the path followed by the satellite around the planet. So around Earth, what path is, or which path is followed by the satellite, we call it as orbit. And the velocity with which the satellite revolves around Earth, we call it as orbital velocity. Now, how will we get an expression for orbital velocity? That's what we are discussing. So, when a satellite revolves around Earth, we know the gravitational force between Earth and the satellite provides the required centripetal force. So we have already discussed in the previous chapters, when a body is in circular motion, to maintain the body in circular motion, a force is required. That force we call as centripetal force. So for a body which is in circular motion, centripetal force is required. Continuous source of centripetal force. So in the case of satellites which revolve around the planet, it is this gravitational force between Earth and the planet which provides the required centripetal force. So from that we will write an expression for orbital velocity. So that is the key point with which we have to start. We know that the expression for centripetal force is mv square by r, where v is the speed with which the object is in circular motion and small letter r stands for the radius of the circular path. So here in this case, when the satellite it is at a height h, the centripetal force, it becomes mv square by r plus h, because radius of the circular path, it becomes r plus h, where r is the radius of earth and h is the height of the satellite from the surface of earth. So from the center to that position, the distance becomes r plus h. So mv square by r plus h is equal to gmm by r plus h whole square. So that gmm by r plus h whole square is the gravitational force. Capital letter M stands for mass of earth and small letter m stands for mass of the satellite. Now simplifying this expression, we will get the expression for orbital velocity. So one r plus h will get cancelled and m also will get cancelled. So we have v is equal to root of gm by r plus h. So that is the expression for orbital velocity of the satellite. Now if we consider a satellite which is very close to the surface of earth, we can take h to be equal to 0. That means small letter h becomes 0. So in the case of close orbit, the expression for orbital velocity becomes root of gm by r. That orbital velocity of close orbit, we write it as v0 or vo, we can say. So that is root of gm by r. As we discussed earlier, gm we can substitute small letter g into r square. So the expression for orbital velocity of the closed orbit, it becomes vo equal to root gr. So the expression for closed orbital velocity is root gr. Now we already discussed escape speed, that was root 2 gr. So we can relate the escape speed and the orbital velocity of the closed orbit. So we have ve is equal to root 2 into vo. So that is the relation between escape velocity and orbital velocity of the closed orbit. Now time period of a satellite. Time period of a satellite is the time taken by the satellite to complete one revolution around Earth. So we can write it as distance travelled in one revolution by time period. So substituting the distance travelled, which is the circumference of the orbit, and orbital velocity, we have root gm by r plus h. By substituting, we have time period t is equal to 2 pi into r plus h divided by root gm by r plus h. Simplifying, we have t equal to 2 pi into root of r plus h whole cube by g r square. Now we know g r square we got by substituting for gm as we discussed earlier. So for a satellite very close to the surface of earth, we know h can be neglected in comparison to the radius. So for such close satellites, we can put h is equal to 0. So we get t equal to 2 pi into r by g. So substituting the values of r and g, we get time period to be equal to 85 minutes. So for a satellite which revolves in a circular path very close to the surface of earth, its time period will be 85 minutes. So to find the time period of any other satellite which is at a height h, we have to use this particular equation, that is t equal to 2 pi into root of r plus h whole cube by gr square. So with that, we conclude today's lesson. Thank you.